January has started off hot for comics, and that is not ending at all. This is a massive, massive week for comics. We have some huge releases to talk about that I am very excited to get into here on this week's edition of Pals Previews. Now, kicking things off, because we're going to read some fire books this week. Kicking things off, what will be available on Pals Pulls out on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern is Ultimate Spider-Man number 13. We're finally going to get to see what the hell Craven did with Norman or Harry and Peter
1 month later.
one
A
month later.
flashback.
Fantastic Four 28, Absolute Wonder Woman number 4, Justice League Unlimited number 3, and Hyde Street number 3. What do you guys think about that docket?
Nice to see Hyde Street back. I know it got delayed, so that was on our list on Palace previews before. So I have the images already ready. Cool. So that's exciting to see. I'm enjoying Hyde Street, so that jumps out to me in this one.
Yeah, and then same for Justice League Unlimited. I mean, come on, like we gotta. This is the premier book right now. We gotta keep going for it.
And your boy is on the cover of Justice League Unlimited
Uh-huh.
this week.
We'll see.
Oh, Plastic
What does
Man.
that mean? Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. My boy Plastic Man.
Oh wait, Swamp Thing's here too.
Who are they deploying? How are they deploying him? Give me the works. And Mark Wade? Yes, please.
What are you guys thinking as far as pick of the week? I feel for me like this is kind of tough.
Even if I don't like it, it's cameo with Swamp Thing. So, Justice League Unlimited number 3.
Wow.
Bias.
Yeah, I might be in the same boat as Marco. Not for the same reasons. I'm not a Swamp Thing head as Marco is, a Swamper. But Justice League Unlimited is just scratching that classic superhero itch that it's almost smart that DC hadn't put out a Justice League book in so many years because now I want it so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just really loving it. It's fucking Dan Mora. It's hard to beat a Dan Mora book, but I do think Ultimate Spider-Man has potential. Issue 12 was probably my favorite issue so far. If they can continue that momentum, there could be some potential here. And fuck, Absolute Wonder Woman this week too. Damn it.
Dude, Fantastic Four, your favorite Marvel book.
I know. And it's starting the One World Under Doom. It's going to be the first bit there. This is a tough. I don't know. Marco's going to have trouble guessing what our pick of the weeks are, I think.
Yeah. I have an idea, but I don't know yet.
Well, I'm calling my shot and saying Ultimate Spider-Man because the cliffhanger from 12 was so good that I need to see what Craven is up to with these boys. And so I am excited for that issue. But to be honest, I think this is such a good week that any of the the odds that any of these are a pass is very low. I think these are all going to be great.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Even something like Wonder Woman, right? We've been asking for more. This is the big battle. Like, it's good. These are going to be fun books.
And you'll see it once we go through the list of the rest of the books coming out. Like, there are books that are typically on the show that are either relegated to the Palace polls or we can't fit it because this is a big week for comics.
Speaking of which, on the poll this week, what you can vote on right now, we have Wolverine Revenge number 4, Uncanny X-Men number 9, Doctor Doom Rocket Raccoon number 1, and Superman number 22. So those are all books that on any week would have made the show. Doctor Doom Rocket Raccoon is a new book, but the other 3 have been staples on the podcast. So that underscores how big of a week this is. And right now, it looks like we're going to be reading Superman number 22 based on the poll, but that can change. Go vote.
Man, double Dan Mora week potentially again. I don't hate that.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to complain about that.
Not at all. Tyler referenced the rest of the books that are coming out this week and what a big week it is. And I think that we should definitely take a look through LeagueofComicGeeks.com and see what this week is really looking like. Because there is some stuff that like first of all, right? This Detective Comics cover, fire, literally. It looks great. This book has been really good. Like, I've been down on Tom Taylor for a while, but now that he's on Detective, I'm loving what he's putting down.
And he has a real good voice for Damien, is what I'm seeing in this. Because there's a bit of Damien in this, but I mean, it's still like Michael Janin on this as well.
Yeah.
Janin is just synonymous with Batman at this point.
Fair.
Thanks to the Tom King run for sure. So yeah, this is definitely something worth picking up, and it's second in this list here. This is organized, I will say, by people who are pulling it through League of Comic Geeks. So there is definitely some heat in this book, and people are enjoying it.
That's absolutely worth pointing out. Think about the books that people have pulled over people have pulled Detective Comics over books like Justice League, books like Absolute Wonder Woman, books like Wonder Woman Core, like so many big books that people are more excited about Detective. That's cool.
Hell yeah, good stuff.
Amazing Spider-Man is on here, and this issue is actually written by Justina Ireland. I'm not sure if this is the first one she's written, but we knew that we would be seeing split duties between her and Joe Kelly. So I'm interested to see what she's gonna do. Black Cat's on the cover, so we're gonna get some of that. She's always fun, but I haven't really loved this Eight Deaths whole experiment.
I'm reading it and it feels like a chore, and I'm only reading it because I read every Amazing Spider-Man issue, whether I like it or not. I'm not hyped about this run so far, which is then not got me hyped about the relaunch coming because it's also Joe Kelly.
Yeah.
So a bit of I know how the Zeb Wells haters feel now.
Oh wow.
It's not a dot deaths, right? Just no, straight up 66. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there it is.
Tyler, are you reading Green Arrow at all?
I have it. I have not caught up. I read the
Okay.
first issue and I enjoyed it. I am excited to see Green Arrow this high up on the list because people do seem to be liking it. That's Chris Condon, I believe. On
And
that.
Montos.
Yes, in Montos. Yep. So great creative team.
Dude, I passed on this because I don't care about Green Arrow and I didn't like what Josh Williamson was doing, but I feel like I fucked up. I'm gonna have to go back and read the rest of this because Chris Condon, after Ultimate X-Men, I'm excited for him.
And it is a more return to form for Ollie in his role in Star City as like this protector and the superhero of Star City, almost like a vigilante. So I think it was scratch your itches, Sean. Yeah. I'm excited for Wonder Woman to return, Wonder Woman 17, because this is the final Sovereign arc. We're in
Yeah.
the last act of the Sovereign story, and I'm excited to see what Tom King has in store. Plus, it's got all the ladies on the cover. The whole gang, the gang's all here.
I did like that cover. So yeah, let me know how that is because I'm not reading it.
Maybe you should
I
be
keep-
reading it.
I keep like wanting to read this, and then every time I try, I regret it. So I don't think I'm gonna pick this up, but damn if I don't want to based on that cover.
It's like when you see it
Yeah.
on the menu and like the picture of it looks really good, and every time you get it, I'm like, I should have gotten the pancakes.
Pretty much.
Not the waffles.
I enjoy waffles though, so I'm enjoying this book.
Marco, can you give us an update on the Flash at all? Because Flash
Uh,
17 is dropping.
I'm not concurrent. I've been reading it on DCU, so I'm like 6 months behind on it. But I mean, it's fun. It is a fun comic that I think for all the hate that it originally got, um, what has pulled me in has been the characterizations. I think Sai is making it makes people sympathetic. It makes the some of the heady things like the spacey, sci-fi elements. Um, that's where I live, and so when I'm there getting thrown words at, or here's like a certain experience that we've entered through like a dimension because we've tapped into this part of the slow, cool, sell me. I love that. So yeah, I will gladly catch you up on this part when I reach it in about 6 months.
It's worth pointing out that original series artist Mike Deodato was not on this issue. We have Vasco Georgiev on it. I don't know if Deodato is off the title or what, but he's not on this issue.
It shouldn't be, as far as I
O-
know.
Off the title, you mean?
Right.
Okay, cool. I decided recently that I'm going to jump back on Catwoman. So Catwoman
He
72 is
paused.
dropping. Well, listen.
You just made a decision.
I don't know. I made that decision when I was about 5 years old, and I saw Michelle Pfeiffer in that outfit. Um, I'm gonna jump back on. I love me some Torn Gronbeck. She is really, really talented, and for some reason, issue 69 didn't like work for me, but I was too harsh. I need to give this a try. I love Catwoman and I love Torn, so I will be buying this.
Mind if I shout out Harley Quinn number 47 real quick too while we're at it?
Of course.
Let me. Can someone bring? I don't want to break the immersion of the screen. Who's the writer again? It's
Yeah. So it's Elliot Kahn and
Elliot
Mindy
Kahn,
Lee on art.
yeah. So this is kind of return of Harley to Gotham, and she's essentially in the slums of Gotham where she grew up. She became hard edged. You know who she is, but it's been gentrified, and she's kind of dealing with that now. And it's kind of her like returning to like her bad guy roots a bit too. It's really her literally wanting to return to her roots, both in physically where she is and who she is as a person. So she's kind of doing a little less super heroic stuff. She's not full on villain, but she's kind of just doing a little more morally gray things, and it's fun. It doesn't have her farting like we will have in that book coming up, but it is a fun Harley book. I really like the design of her costume here, with the trench coat. It's really fun to me. And it looks like this issue is dealing with a Clayface family reunion with a whole bunch of Clayfaces, which is funny because that is a character that's had a lot of versions. So I'm wondering if they'll address that. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun book.
So the solicit says Clayface is having a dinner party and everybody's invited as long as their name is Clayface. We've got all the Clayfaces in here and it lists all the Clayfaces.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're going to get exactly what you're hoping for. That's pretty cool. Are either of you reading Iron Man? Number 4 is dropping this week. Spencer Ackerman had a lot of praise coming into this book, given his work outside of comics. So, have either of you kept up?
So I haven't. I have the issues. I just haven't gotten to them yet. I think that I'm like 2 behind. But the Discord has been raving about it from what I've been seeing.
Yeah?
Like, there's a couple people talking about it, saying like, "Hey, we should check this out." So I think there's some buzz around it. That what, maybe I'll the next time Iron Man shows up on this list, I will be up to date for you.
Okay. Okay.
Nice. There you go.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
off that first issue, man, that was hard to swallow. But yeah, if it does turn around and people are liking it, maybe it's worth revisiting like at a new arc.
So I am really hyped for World Tree number 12. World Tree's been on hiatus for a little bit. It's a stellar comic. I cannot wait to dive back into that world. For those of you who aren't reading this, which you really ought to be, it's basically like, what if there was, what if you could see something on the internet that would so alter you that you would become like a monster, essentially? And what would have to happen to like what would we have to do to prevent that? It's a really big story with a lot of characters, but I think Tynan handles that better than he does in any other place.
Tynion must have been on Rotten.com as a kid
Yes.
and inspired this.
He said it was inspired by all that. So
Really? Yeah, I
yes.
think we're around the same age as Tynan. Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah,
Yeah.
that tracks.
Yeah, for sure. Mystique is coming out, and this is a book that I have been absolutely adoring. It's really, really good. Mystique is a character that obviously we all loved during the Krakoan era, and so the fact that she has her own book is great. And I'm really interested in the fact that they've been using Black Nick Fury for this issue for this series as a foil to her. He's really the hero of the book, and Mystique is kind of playing that like Joker role, if you will. Not literally, but if you think about the Joker book,
You didn't
where
read that
Jim
though.
Gordon. Sorry.
You didn't read that book.
Well, no, I didn't, but
Okay.
I happen to know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Where Jim Gordon was really the protagonist, even though Joker's name was on the marquee. This is the same kind of situation. It's very good.
And Declan's kind of latched himself onto this Nick Fury character in the most recent years. Yeah, that's cool to see. Any Nick Fury senior appearances?
Yes, he did appear.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto number 2 is dropping. We were
Yeah.
pretty into the first one,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm gonna buy this.
I'm picking this up. This
Same.
is gonna be this. I remember having so much fun with the world, it being concurrent with our modern world, which was a twist I didn't expect. And man, I gotta do it for the bands, dude. Like there's so much to this that we can explore this crossover of ninjas and like martial arts. So I'm very much excited for this. I think the voice that I'm pulling up the writer here, the that Caleb Goliner got was on point for the Naruto characters, and then the artist Henry
Yeah.
Prasada, um, doing really good work, just capturing the kineticism of all that. I can't wait to see more jutsus come into play because that's gonna be fun.
Give me sexy jutsu from
Yeah, oh my god.
Donatello. Yeah, this is I was a little surprised to not see this on the poll at least, but then I realized, oh, this is the kind of week we're dealing with.
Yeah, stacked.
So yeah, I didn't. I understood. You're not reading Blade Red Band anymore, are you, Sean?
I bought the first one and I jumped ship. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. We said no red band in 2024 outside of Wolverine Revenge.
Number
Sticking
4.
to your word.
There it is.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So that is available on the poll, by the way. Here's an oversight that I do have to apologize to the two of you for, certainly, and the pals at home. Metamorpho, the Element Man #2 is dropping this week, and
That's right.
somehow, some way, I didn't see it. I didn't notice it.
It's deep in
will
this
be a
list.
read.
It's deep in this list. So I don't.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes, but this is going to be a pickup for me for sure.
Same. Yeah.
Maybe
I
we
can't
can
wait.
maybe we can squeeze a conversation in.
As
I'd be
would
down.
Metamorpho in most situations.
He would figure it out, right?
Figure it
He would
out,
figure
yeah.
out a way.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do that. The last book that I personally want to call out, and you guys feel free, is a little bit further down, but it's Godzilla's Monster Peace Theater #3. That does not sound like the kind of book that I, Sean,
No.
would say that I'm reading. But I read the second issue on a lark because we get sent free digital books from IDW and others. And so I decided to read the second issue, and it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's Tom Scioli on the writing and art. Already he's super
Great.
talented. But then what this book actually is it's what if various characters that have existed in popular media like Sherlock Holmes and fucking Dracula and all those people, what if they really existed alongside each other and had to deal with Godzilla?
That's so dumb.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Wasn't like
And
Captain
it's-
Ahab in one of them too?
Yeah. Like it shouldn't work, but it definitely does, and I think it's great. So I'm gonna be picking this up.
If I say a comic book is dumb, coming from me, that is a compliment. So,
Yeah.
no, this is right down my alley. I'm kind of mad I missed this. I'm gonna want to check this out. Maybe I'll check this out today. This feels like a good right before bed read. We got them in the email. So
It's bugged out that you say that because I read it right before bed when I read
Oh,
I know.
it. Okay,
was
that's
there.
even more bugged out.
I wanted to shout out even farther down. In Bloom #2. Now I know you guys weren't hot on it on the review, but I did come. I did read it, and I thought there was something there. I agreed with the criticisms, but I want to see how the world blooms, how it grows from this. Like what else can we extract? What is going on with this whole recycling or upcycling that people are doing, and how does the nefariousness of all that play out? So I do want to catch up. I do want to read this one.
if there's a comic that I always want to catch up on, it's Savage Dragon. Anytime Savage Dragon comes out, it's like, man, I just wish I could catch up because it's wild. It's his son now, and it's graphic. A lot of gooning in these books. You want to talk about a true
Oh.
gooner book? Savage Dragon does some of that on the page.
Can I do one more?
No,
I want to shout out Robot Todd. This is way down. I'm a huge fan of Farrell Dalrymple, and his art style and what he does. It's way down.
There we
There's like 109 pulls.
Floating World Comics. Okay.
Yeah. Floating World does some cool indie stuff, and I follow this creator religiously. So anytime that he comes out with something, he's a painstakingly slow artist. So a lot of the time they're just kind of like one shots. But when he does come out with something, I'm there to pick it up. So I do want to give a shout out for anyone who is a Daryl Limple fan, that this is out.
Dude, man, I love robots and robot kids. Like Mega Man is my favorite character. So I am definitely buying this. Thank you for
Hell
shouting
yeah.
that out. 100%.
Add it to your pull list, Sean. Wait, hold on.
No, we're done with that experiment. But please do let us know if there were any books on the list this week that we didn't shout out that you're excited for, because we are always trying to expand our knowledge of comics and our pull list, even though our wallets hate us. So if we missed out on something, please share. Please share. Now, we have one thing left to do, which is the spotlight. And today, the spotlight is going to be placed on Tyler, who's going to share his thoughts about a book that he decided to speak on.
So this is a book that I've had in my shelf for years now, and I caught up to it, and it's pretty much just a classic story. I'm going to talk about Bravo for Adventure by Alex Toth. If you are unfamiliar with Alex Toth, you are familiar with Alex Toth. You might not just know it. Alex Toth is probably one of the best cartoonists ever. He was the one that did the art design and character work for things like Herculoids for Space Ghost, designed Space Ghost essentially.
Oh shit.
That
And
Hanna-Barbera stuff.
yeah, a lot of that Hanna-Barbera era kind of work, and also comic book artist, writer, creator, and this is just kind of a fun 1930s pulp adventure book. It's called Bravo for Adventure. You almost read this in old timey radio voice as it's going about. You know, there's the femme fatale. It's got the mustachioed, handsome, daring do himself here. It's just this is there's a quote on the back on here that says, "The finest artist that comics ever had, Gil Kane." Like
Nice.
that is, if there's any kind of praise, that's some praise. The art style of Alex Toth, I'll put the back on there for you. You can see how something like that would inspire maybe like a Leonardo Romero, Chris Somney,
Gavin
even
Guidry. He's
Gavin
mentioned it.
Guidry's mentioned Toth as well. Even someone like Darwin Cook possibly. You know, there's bits of what's the Cook book?
New Frontier.
No. His crime book. I'm drawing a blank right now, but it's got a lot of that in there, and it's just like look at this. It's not even a thick book. It's pretty straightforward. You kind of breeze through it. It's in black and white, so you don't get color in it. You get some on the cover, and there's some in the back material, and it's a little blurry. But I would recommend it to anyone who just wants like kind of a archaeological dig into an artist that maybe is not as well known in the public space as much as he's well known in the artist space. And like this is the guy that inspired a lot of your favorite creators right now. So I think there should be some respect brought to the Toth name that maybe isn't really there for a lot of people who are maybe more familiar with the big two. And it makes me want to watch Hercules. I want some Gleeping Glob, a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not. You should have paused me there, Sean. But yeah, Bravo for Adventure. This is published by IDW, by the way, part of their Library of American Comics thing. It's only $25. It's about there's not even that many pages. It's 77 pages. Like you can get through this, and it's a bit of a big format. So it's in that distillery, what they're doing now, not quite magazine, but a little more square format. Big ass panels.
Were you thinking of Parker?
Parker, yes, thank you, Mark. Yeah, Parker. Yeah, I'd pick it up. It's just fun stuff. Just gorgeous looking too.
Always room for beautiful comics on our shelves, in our lives. Thank you to everybody for watching this, all you Wednesday warriors out there. I hope that your journey to your shop is safe. I hope that your books are secure, and I hope that you have a tremendous time reading them, and that you show up on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for Palace Pools to talk about them. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys.
See you next week.